We are in T90 Community Cup group stage. We are witnessing a match between Dracarna and Mershuggle, and I believe, if I just check this actually, I believe this is the Crossbow bracket. Correct me if I'm wrong there, chat. But we have the Mershuggle and Inca, who is doing some scouting with goats, which is very nice. And Dracarna in the shoe, like I said in the draft stage, I love the shoe. I love this suit. I've been practicing it a lot, and I think it could be quite good here because if you get archers out early with upgrades, you can play it quite aggressively in feudal, disrupting gold, disrupting berries. You can kind of hem in your opponent at least on one of these sides with a strong archer play. However, Inca, they have pretty good, pretty good counter to this with being able to produce skirmishes with less food cost. The Eagle Warriors, obviously very strong against archers. Probably not going to see that so much in feudal. It's quite hard to mass Eagle Warriors. They're quite expensive as well. But that is at the disposal of the Mershuggle here. But here we go for the elephant here on Dracarna. So very nice. And the Mershuggle also going for their elephant. And I believe this map is all about the aggression. So it could be men-at-arms rush. Could be decent here. However, I don't rate it as much as on other maps because everything is, at least in the Dark Age, quite close to the TC. I really like feudal age aggression on these resources that are just that little bit further out, and we have villagers taking damage here, and he might go down. He just makes it. I feel like that trunk was inches away from his head to get that last hit, but narrowly avoids that. Going for a mill for Dracarna. Another elephant. This elephant seems far away. I don't think there was a steal opportunity as that eagle is down the bottom there, but did seem far. And I guess actually there are quite a lot of elephants on this map. Looks like you get 3, is that correct? It would seem that way, maybe 4 even. So that's a lot of food. Could urchins be good on this map, or jerchins, however you describe it, with the non-decaying hunt, with so much hunt on this map? Might be worth thinking about. But should mention actually that Dracarna has about a minute worth of idle TC time. That might come to bite him in the end. The Mershuggle's managing that a little bit better. Obviously, you have to manage these lures and the TC at the same time. Can be tricky. But all is going well. We've got Mershuggle going up to feudal. And we're going to this gold at the back. No, we're going for the gold there. I thought there might be the strategic play of having gold far away from the enemy's base, potentially. But not to be. Dracarna putting down his barracks. We don't have the barracks yet for the Mershuggle. And that might mean he's not going to go for early aggression. There goes the barracks, so might have it up in time for an immediate men-at-arms or into an archery range. Dracarna will definitely have that opportunity as soon as he gets up. And even walling off. Do I like that or not? Even though this map plays aggressive, I do like to play it a little bit open, maybe walling to the sides, because you don't want to expose your villages on the outside here on resources, perhaps. But we have villagers coming forward. I did notice that there were some villagers on stone. So these villagers are thinking of a tower. Just where exactly the tower is going to go, not sure, but I would assume it's going to be this gold, yes. I think that is wise. And he's going to wall in the tower at the same time, so it can't be beat down. But there we go. There's the villagers going to come forward to try and prevent this going down. We do have an eagle in the mix. These two villagers are going to continue building. I was concerned that this wasn't going to be enough villagers, and it seems like it's not going to be. Because Dracarna very wisely has brought more villagers over. And there's a lot of villagers here that are low for Dracarna, but none dead as of yet. And we have archers out now as well. So I think this needed to be perhaps out of sight initially, or more villagers. But we'll see. We've got more villagers coming, but no military in support though. And that tower is, it might even be down by the time the villagers get there. So I love the aggression. But if you refine, oh, okay. We're going to go for a different tower. Archers scout this out. That tower goes down. More eagles are going to be produced. Archery range on the way as well. These villagers trying to escape into the jungle. I'm going to keep running. I've liked this from Dracarna. He's been very responsive to what's been thrown at him. Playing very defensive with the walls. And a blacksmith coming down. You want that as a shoe because you get cheap fletching. So you need to take advantage of that. These villagers coming back. And remember, they're going to have to take the wide arc around, or they will be scouted, and they are in vision. And the tower is not, so there is a possibility that he hasn't figured this out yet. So this eagle just needs to keep these archers in this general vicinity. More villagers coming. And they're going to run straight into archer fire, which is hilarious. So Mershuggle has lost now 5 villagers. However, he is ahead in villager lead. This tower is going to go up. He probably will have enough for another tower, so you can double tower this. And That's going to take Dracarna off gold. You can always move to a different gold though, as he is doing. So it's actually not the end of the world. And let's see what Mershuggle's doing back home. He's gone into farms, he's got more on stone, got some on gold. He has skirmishes out, but rally point is set forward. So he will lose that. He's got a couple eagles, but he will need to group those potentially. And these villagers have been found out. So again, envision towers, needed to loop around the back, maybe put it on this hill, and then go for a double tower. But has managed to get one tower on this goal, so let's call it a partial success. Another villager down though, that's 7 down. We have militia as well. May have been a misclick there. But yeah, this is what I worry about for Mershuggle, is that Dracarna playing defense is up to castle. And we're going to try and fight this off with villagers actually, which is, I like the cojones here of Dracarna. The villagers do have a knife in their pocket and they use it to great effect. However, we're going to have to find something else to use if the Mershuggle continues to go into skirmishes. Villagers still getting amongst the action here, and as a HP sponge, that actually worked quite well. Did lose a couple of villagers there though. So might have been worth it in the end. However, probably go into some skirmishes of your own to combat that, or maybe some knights, some stable units. Might think of that once he gets into castle, if skirmishes are still a play. However, yes, you do want to stay in the archer line as the shoe. You just need to complement that to offset the weaknesses to skirms there, because the shoe are all about the archers. Dracarna, going to go into another TC. So he's thinking of the boom, and he does have some catching up to do in terms of villages. So I don't mind that. Steve's tower, so no aggression to be had here or here. We've got the pre-tower, which I think is fine for Mershuggle. Few idols, another barrack, so we're thinking eagles. And I like that from Mershuggle actually. I think that's probably the play, as these archers are thinking of looping around. Siege workshop in addition. So let's see if Dracarna can get any damage, which I doubt it. I think his best bet is to boom, maybe a 3 TC boom. But I am expecting a lot of pressure here from Mershuggle once castle comes in, and probably staying on the 1 TC will probably be the play. 1 villager town centre on this gold, so that will eventually get up. Stable for Dracarna to supplement the archers. He should be really trying to boost these archer numbers as well, so would love to see continued archer production there. And it is Eagle Scout. Full Eagle Scout here from Mershuggle. That is the correct play. Gonna need to get armor on these. Has got the first armor already. If he gets the next armor, they're going to be very hard to deal with. And Knight will have to come out. Mangonel for towers. That's nice. But Eagles are going to be an issue. They could get a big hit here. Missed the opportunity. Could have got a really big hit while Mershuggle was not looking. But these are bodkin archers, so the Eagles are actually falling a little bit quicker than expected, actually. I was expecting the Eagles to actually win that fight. So good for Dracarna to take advantage of every single shoe bonus so far. Bonish, I was gonna say. And sensing that these archers are still being very effective, is going to go into another archery match. But yes, more production. Gonna need more production. Hang on. What are these fellas up to? This is a unsupported castle. So, thinks he can get it off with just blocking. However, remember we do have archers on the field. All attention is over here. I think he might have just realized archers coming back. If archers sat here, it could be denied. Market's gone. Castle of his own. I don't know if this castle goes up because Mershuggle's got a good lead on this build of the castle. 90%, 60%. Eagles coming over. This is going to be pretty touch and go. I think it still goes up. However, there could be losses. Not as many losses as... I think he just clutched it before it was too bad. Love that that castle is on elevation. That is very nice. So good response there from Dracarna. Mangonel unsupported though. And Mangonel rolling around the battlefield. Unable to get a hit off. So I feel like Dracarna is a little bit stretched on both sides. It's going to need to pick a side to focus on. And he does have the villager lead now. As Mershuggle gets onto his second TC as the game stabilizes a bit. But this is the third TC, third Mangonel, sorry. Does get a decent shot off there on one unit. But needs to mass these crossbow. Eagles doing some raiding. University and Market. Market was deleted, remember, because Dracarna wanted the hill. So it has to rebuild a market. And I think these Eagles are going to be very, very annoying as Dracarna tries to manage the rest of the map. We're going to get this tower eventually so we can get on that gold. Archers come this way to get these Eagles. They do have double armor now, so they will be harder to kill. And because that university hasn't been built yet, we don't have ballistics. So it's all on. There's action on every part of the map right now. Eagle's still getting damage as archers run. Definitely need to kill these eagles. But at the very least, this university will go up. Losing a lot of archers though, which is not ideal. Archers being produced in here, however, they're going to pop out and they're going to see 8 eagles. Again, I think knights, or what are they called? Haogung cavalry. Haogung cavalry needs to be perhaps built here. To support, I think they would be a great support unit for the archers against eagles. Could be wrong, but I believe that should be the play. We do have White Feather Guard. Could be decent against eagle. I'm not sure about that matchup. Obviously very good against cav. Looks like archers would have died there as the archery range went down. Fighting with more bills. So Dracarna's not afraid to go for a bill fight. But yeah, look at the eco kills. We've got 25 eco kills for Mershuggle as he has now taken the villager lead himself. So I feel like the walls are closing in on Dracarna. He's done some nice things here. However, he has been on the defensive. That's for sure. Third TC on this gold, by the way, from Mershuggle. Gold on here. Good farm eco at the back. So the economy is looking pretty nice behind this as well. Oh wow, we've got slingers. The slingers should be pretty good against the White Feather Guard. So I think that's actually a pretty nice addition there. We are pressuring that gold. We have got this gold back here for Dracarna. I would really like to see a siege workshop here for Mershuggle. Get out some rams or mangonels. Wow. Okay, I did not... I've actually been neglecting this part of the map. There's so much going on this map. We have taken villages off this gold, and looks like actually the eco kill did jump up there for Dracarna, scraping back some of that villager deficit. So this could be nice. I think the White Feather Guard might not fare too well underneath PC, but it would seem Mershuggle hasn't actually seen this. His focus is on this this area here. Villagers do go into the TC now. However, we are right now at 20 eco kills, 21. And we're looking basically at a dead even game now because of this raid. So great stuff there from Dracarna. He will still need to deal with what's on his doorstep. Mershuggle might actually be close to Imperial as well. I think some villagers also went down there for Dracarna, so this is a scrappy game. This is a very scrappy game. And I'm looking forward to looking at the chat at the end of this game. I do like to focus on the game as the game is going on, but I will definitely be looking at some responses in the chat after this. But yeah, I think we're in the dead heat game now. Mershuggle definitely does have the military lead. Unfortunately does take a few hits to that castle. But we'll find this gold. And yes, Imperial is on the way from Mershuggle, and that could lead to Trebs, obviously. That castle going down, TC's going down. Would be what I'm thinking, and does give him a pretty big advantage, but this little raid will be taken care of. Slinger's being led under this TC. Oh, it does recognize that, so that's really nice. Mershuggle could expand out to this area as well. Has that under control. His TC is going to go down here. And actually, did Mershuggle lose a Imperial Age TC? Because Dracarna's not that far away from Imperial. That's it. If he was... I don't think he was researching in that TC. Surely. Surely. It is possible though. I thought he was quite a fair way ahead in Imperial timing, but it's going to be pretty similar. So I was actually leaning towards Mershuggle here. And I still might be, but this is a closer game than I had originally anticipated. I think the White Feather Guard has definitely helped stabilize the situation. Castle over here has solidified this position. And the kill to death ratio, 109 to 110. So this is a very close game. Very close game indeed. These White Feather Guard looking for villages on the outside. Dracarna going to expand to the bottom here. Mershuggle is in Imperial. Needs to get these Trebs out fairly... Oh. No. Yes, Mershuggle does get Trebs. It's the Shu that don't get Trebs. The Shu get their... traction Trebs. It surprises me every time. I'm playing Shu and I click on Trebs and it's like, huh? There's no Trebs. I'm like, ah, it's the traction Trebs. And he might have done the same thing as me because he clicks conscription. He must have been in the castle looking for the Trebs, maybe. But it's going to go into traction Treb here. Real Trebs are actually better, to be honest. But we're not seeing a Treb come out here for Mershuggle. I think he must just be expecting this castle to go down. Let's hope he can get these fabric shields before it goes down. This could be clutch. It comes in. It comes in. That was very close though. And we've got 17 White Feather Guard here. This is going to clean up. And I think this area is now fairly well secure here for Dracarna. Stabilizing castle back here for Mershuggle. Traction Treb on this side, and we've got 8 White Feather Guard here. So is more than stabilized on this side. It's actually pushing on this side. Neutralize this side. It's actually looking rough here for Mershuggle. He does have the villager lead by about 20 though. So that's really spiked up, and he does have the Slinger, which is going to be great against White Feather Guard. Traction Treb is going to attack these though. No, they are actually pretty good against units. White Feather Guard comes to the top here. They're gonna find villages. That TC is nearly completed though. And that villager there will complete it. But this hasn't been noticed, so there's gonna be a lot of dead villagers. Traction Treb gonna come up there to attack that TC. And we have 24 White Feather Guard on the floor here for Dracarna. Oh, he was going to attack that villager. But no. That villager, you know, there's been a bit of mercy here for this villager. As these White Feather Guard move on elsewhere. Stone down here. It's a one villager TC though. A lot of TCs built in this game. To secure resources. That's been the role of the TC in this game. That TC goes down. White Feather Guard down here. If you can get onto this economy with plate mail armor, that would be pretty hard to combat, especially with elite White Feather Guard coming in. Loving this from Dracarna. This hasn't been noticed by Mershuggle, and this TC might go up. We do have 18 Slayers though. So let's see if they can get damage on White Feather Guards. But they're in the back here. And this could result in a lot of damage if it's not observed. Traction trebs underneath Castle Fire is going to be hard to take out. These have been left to roam. They're going to get damage, especially while these traction trebs also take out that TC. Big battle at the top here between Slingers and White Feather Guard, but they have been surrounded. So even though it's a counter, again, another mercy play here for Dracarna, just leaving one unit. It's a message. It's a message. I don't need to take that unit. But obviously is responding to his traction trebs going down at the bottom. This still not observed. And between these White Feather Guard, they've killed 19 villagers, with many more still to come. White Feather Guard only have forging, by the way. Has been noticed now as villagers get into the TC. But it doesn't matter. They've definitely done the job. And if you look at the score lead, Dracarna has been catapulted into the lead. White Feather Guard cleaning up the stone at the bottom. There's just a lot here to track for Mershuggle. Had that early initiation bonus. You know, had Dracarna on the back foot at the beginning, but now is definitely responding to the Dracarna attacks, and White Feather Guard getting in close to Slingers, and it is enough to secure this area of the map now. White Feather Guard continuing to harass the home economy though, picking up more kills, and wow. We're up to 74 eco kills here for Dracarna, which is huge. Traction trebs also on this castle. And this White Feather Guard just going ham right now on the home economy. White Feather Guard, yep, gonna go down 2 Slingers, which is nice. But Castle goes down regardless. And we're going to need to pull these trebs back. White Feather Guard still going around the back. And that's the GG. So Mershuggle had the early advantage, but that got a bit crazy. There was a lot of places to keep an eye on. And in the end, it was Dracarna that managed that chaos just a bit better. The elite Feather Guard was nice. Traction trebs, taking out buildings. No trebs for Mershuggle. as he was on the back foot. But that was a banger of a first game. First came there to Dracarna.